Sri Gurubhyo Namaha, bio teacher here. Hey guys, welcome back to the class. Last class, what did we learn? About brain, isn't it? So you understood that how complicated it is, isn't it? And now what you people have to do? You should keep your brain a stress-free zone. Yes? Welcome back to the next session in biology. Today we are going to discuss about plants and animals hormones in control and coordination lesson. Yes, let's dive into the lesson. In the last class we discussed about how coordination, control and coordination happens in plants, right? How do they respond to stimuli like heat, light, yes, then water, chemical and everything, right? And you may have a doubt, ma'am, why are we going to learn about hormones? What is the role of hormones in plants, right? Do you know one thing? This complete function of control and coordination in plants is performed by chemical substance called plant hormones. So these plant hormones are naturally organic and diffusible, and they control so many activities like regulating growth, development, differentiation, and so many activities in plants. Now you understood why are we going to learn about plant hormones? Yes? So it is very clear that plants also respond to the stimuli, right? Not like animals, because animals have well-developed nervous system, whereas plants have hormones to respond to the stimuli, right? Plant hormones, otherwise called phytohormones. The plant hormones are produced in small quantities in one part of the plant and it gets diffused in the another part of the plant. So it is produced in one particular region and it travels to another part of the plant. Why it has to travel? Because it has to go to the specific site where it has to undergo or where it has to change some physiological process. Let me give you an example. Imagine ripening of a fruit, growth of a particular part of a plant. So the hormone is produced in one region and it goes to the other region to perform some physiological process. So based on that, the phytohormones are divided into two. One is growth promoters, the other one is growth inhibitor. Look at the term. The term is very clear, isn't it? Growth promoters. It increases the growth of the plant or it promotes the growth of the plant. Growth inhibitors. These are the plant hormones which prevents the growth of the plant. So based on that, growth promoters are classified into, all the three hormones, they come under growth promoters. Auxin, cytokinin, gibberellins. These three hormones are called growth promoters because they increase increase or they promote the growth of the plant. Right? We'll see one by one. Growth inhibitors, ethylene and abscisic acid. These two hormones are called growth inhibitors. They prevent the growth of the plant. You want to know why? Why it has to be done? Anyways, we'll discuss about this one by one. Let me tell you something interesting about auxin. You know very well that auxin is a growth promoting factor. So the main role of auxin is to increase the size or length of the plant. But how is it happening? Let's see that. It's very interesting. Just listen carefully. If this is a cell, right? If the cell is filled with auxin hormone, what will happen? The cell starts to elongate. When the cell starts to elongate, it increases the length of the plant. So the more the auxin, the more elongation happens. Now you can guess the location of auxin, right? Yes, your guess is right. You can find auxin in the growing tips of the leaves, then shoot, and even in the bud region. For what? Just to induce the growth of the plant. Hey guys, let me share some secret about this auxin guy. You know one thing? Come on, lend your ears. You know one thing? This guy is very allergic towards sunlight. Yes, let me tell you. Here, the sun rays are from here, right? So, when these cells, when they encounters the sun rays, what happens, the concentrated oxygen present in this region, it starts to diffuse around the shoot. So here you can see the cells very clearly. It starts to elongate, right? So wherever you find oxygen, it helps in increases the size of the cell. I mean, the cell starts to elongate. Suppose if the sun is from this side, what happens? If it is from this side, obviously the oxygen starts to move away, right? Here you can see the difference. So here the cell starts to elongate. So this is a shady region and this is a part that receives the sunlight. So here there is no change. Here the cell is not elongating. Whereas this side the cell starts to elongate because this guy has gone to this side. So as a result of that, it creates a bend, right? It creates a bend. I've scribbled too much. It creates a bend, okay? So when it eradicates the oxygen on sunny side, causing the cell on the shady region to grow longer. So this makes the tip point to move towards the sunlight. So it depends on the position of the sun. So now you understood? This guy is quite allergic towards sunlight. Hey guys, are you listening? Okay, let me check. Have you seen any gardener cutting the tips of the plants using a very big scissors? You know why? Don't look at me for the answer. Go and find out, okay? Next hormone is gibberellin. So it is also a growth hormone, just like auxin. So it makes the plant to grow tall. And apart from that, it has so many processes like stem elongation. Stem elongation, you can just guess where it is present, where it is concentrated. Gibberellins are concentrated in the nodes where new leaves are actually formed. Even it increases the stem, the length of the stem. Apart from that, it helps in ripening of the fruit. Okay, it induces the fruit to ripen. Then next hormone is cytokinin. Cytokinin is also a growth promoter. It promotes the growth of the plant. Then apart from that, it breaks the dormancy of the bud. So bud cannot stay in a bud form for a long time, isn't it? So over a period of time, it starts to blossom, right? Next is abscisic acid. It's a growth inhibitor hormone. So this hormone helps to induce the dormancy of seeds and buds. So they will stay in the same state for a period of time. Okay. Then it also promotes in falling of leaves. It's called abscission, falling of leaves. It promotes falling of leaves. So it does the opposite job of growth promoters. Then their growth promoters, it helps in opening of stomata, and this one promotes the closing of stomata and wilting of leaves, drying of leaves. So all these opposite work, okay, it is performed by abscisic acid. So inhibits. Suppose if a plant has more abscisic acid hormone, what happens? The plants will remain dwarf for a period of time. So generally this abscisic acid, gibberellins or other growth promoter hormones are sprayed over the dwarf plant just to promote the growth. The reasons research says about this. Ethylene, this is also a hormone, plant hormone, but this performs a dual role. So sometimes it acts as a growth promoter, sometimes it acts as a growth inhibitor. So it is very clear that each and every activity of the plant is completely under the control of hormones. Very amazing, isn't it? With this, plant hormone chapter is over. Next class we'll be learning about animal hormones. So what did you learn from the lesson? Peace, right? Yes. Live in harmony with nature. Thank you. See you all in the next class. Bye.